people who understand how to acquire customers from cold traffic, from people who don't know you. That's why we get the big bucks. That's why our fees are high. That's why our royalties are high, because when you are suddenly able to tap into 10 times the traffic or whatever and bring all these new customers in the door, like that's wildly valuable for a business. So understanding the difference between what works when you're selling to a captive audience, like people who already know, like, and trust you, your email list, your prospect list, your customer list, selling to those people is relatively easy. Selling to a cold audience of anybody that may have some kind of relevant interest in your topic, that becomes much harder. And it really is all about this market awareness model, which is championed by Eugene Schwartz in Breakthrough Advertising. So I use Keith Krantz's language for this because I really like it, and it to me delineates what we're looking at for each step of the market awareness model. But it's again all based on Eugene Schwartz, Market Awareness in Breakthrough Advertising, which is a fantastic book. So the market awareness model, all markets and all prospects within a market go through these 5 stages. They start with being unaware of your product, your service, actually the problem that's being solved, any kind of solution to the problem. It's just they're unaware, but maybe they start to experience some symptoms, right? So the market or the person is completely unaware of what's going on. And then they start to experience these symptoms and they become aware that there is a problem that needs to be solved. There's a problem, there's an unfulfilled desire or some kind of problem that needs to be solved. Then once they're aware, like once they become aware that, oh, there's this problem, I want to have it solved, they start to look for solutions. And so they go from unaware to problem aware to solution aware, meaning that they've looked and they've found that there are maybe some different solutions available. And it could be products, it could be services, it could be some kind of like direct work, it could be some do-it-yourself something, like, you know, depending on what the market is, there's all sorts of different different things that you can consider for what that solution might look like. But basically it's, hey, I'm not aware that there's even a problem here. I'm aware that there's a problem here. I'm aware that there is a potential solution to the problem. And then as they're researching solutions, they become you aware. So we're UPSY, you aware, meaning they have found your specific solution, they found your specific business, your specific offering, you have a product, a service, whatever, and they start to do research on specifically you as a potentially viable solution to the problem. And then they become deal ready. That's D. So upside, UPSYD. We went unaware, problem aware, solution aware, you aware, and then deal ready. And that deal ready is basically, hey, they've basically decided that they're going to get what you're offering. They just need a reason to take action now. Okay, so you take something like a sale, right? Like where it's just like a 50% off sale or something like that. Basically, that is targeted at the deal ready. You know, somebody has to be aware of you and your particular solution and be ready to buy. And just having a 50% off sale, that's just for people who are deal ready, who haven't taken action yet. Okay. Then you get a little bit more, you zoom out a little bit, and by the way, that's the smallest segment of any market. That is a little tiny segment of any market. Those are the people who are already on your prospect list, already a hot lead, already maybe even on your customer list, and just ready for the next product, the next service, the next offer, the next deal. So you zoom out a little bit, and you are talking to the people who are becoming you aware. Well, the way to move those people closer to the sale is to actually give a reason why your product, your service, your offer is superior to any other solution that's out there. So at this point, if they're becoming you aware, they are already aware of the different solutions in the marketplace. So you need to differentiate your solution as superior. And this often is where like the most novice marketers focus their their marketing, their copywriting, their messaging, is they say, hey, we are better than the competition, and here's all the ways that we're better than the competition. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that's not that scalable, because somebody has to already be aware of all the solutions in the marketplace, much less being problem aware, before they can even start to consider, okay, why is this solution superior, right? And before that message even matters to them. So when you get a little bit better as a marketer, then you start to help people define what an ideal solution looks like. You start to give them buying criteria for an ideal solution. And here is where you're actually assisting them in the buying process, in the research process. And obviously, the way that you're going to set it up is because you believe in your product is the superior solution. You're going to say, here's some of the different solution options. Here's what a good solution needs to do for you, and here's how our solution lines up with what a good solution needs to be. And so you're going to walk them through from becoming solution aware and comparing the solutions, to deciding that yours is superior, to offering them some kind of reason to take action now. So again, we're going from the most aware and we're zooming out. Now, most copywriters stop there, and if you're having trouble scaling your particular product or service, it's probably because if you're having trouble scaling your offer, your funnel, it's probably because you're speaking to the solution-aware prospects or the you-aware prospects. You are maybe helping them make decisions about which solutions are superior and differentiating your product or service as the superior solution. But that assumes that they show up with a full understanding of the problem and what type of solution that they're looking for, right? And that tends to be where you struggle with getting much scale, even if you're able to get the warmest traffic or the most targeted traffic to work really well. So if you're able to get this warm traffic to work really well, but you're not able to get cold traffic well, what might be going on is you are speaking specifically to the people who are solution aware, or who are becoming solution aware, who are going through the research process to become solution aware. For example, if I want to buy I produce some music on my computer, and if I wanted to buy a new MIDI keyboard, it's I'm going to start looking at which MIDI keyboards have which features and how those are going to work with how I produce music and which one's going to be superior for me, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But there, I'm already looking at the solution, right? I'm already looking at the solution. Versus if we zoom out a little bit from there, okay, so before someone can become solution aware, before someone can really dive into the different solutions that are available in a marketplace, they have to clearly define the problem. They have to define, okay, here's the problem that I want to have solved. And the problem that I want to have solved may be, if I'm continuing with this MIDI keyboard example, maybe I want to make really interesting music, right? And that's a bigger problem than just I need a MIDI keyboard. I want to make interesting human feeling music that's not just programmed in by clicking my mouse, right? And so there could be a completely different solution available that's not a MIDI keyboard. It could be new software that allows me to hum music into my microphone, and what it does is it pulls out the note data from that, and then it creates recommended harmonies, etc. from that, and it turns me humming into my microphone into compelling music. And if I was just selling that MIDI keyboard, okay, maybe I'm going to focus on that, and I'm going to focus on make better music by having a MIDI keyboard that gives you access to all these things within your music production software, etc. But if I want to speak to the problem-aware people, I'm going to say something, I'm going to say how to make the most interesting music in the world, or so you're ready to become an electronic musician. How do you get your ideas out of your head? And then you help them define this problem of the problem is you need to get all those musical ideas out of your head and into your music production software. And the automatic default for that is, oh, you need this keyboard. right? But maybe that's not the best solution for like if you know how to play piano, if you know how to play a keyboard, yeah, that's a great solution for you. But if you don't know how to do that, how can you change that messaging so you help them define the problem better, such that it connects them to, okay, one particular solution is a keyboard, but if you're not great about that, what do you do? Like one particular solution is clicking your mouse, but if that doesn't feel human enough for you, what do you do? Well, we created the software that allows you to do this, right? And so you, instead of focusing on the solution where people are already like looking for the solution, which is a much smaller market, you're able to speak to this bigger market of, hey, you want to create awesome music that people are just like, wow, like where'd you learn to play like that? But you don't really know how to play. Here's your solution, right? And you're able to help them define that problem and then walk through defining the solution, comparing it to alternative solutions, presenting you and your offer, and then offering them a deal on that. And if you want to go even further, which becomes much more difficult, you can start to speak to the unaware. Now, I don't necessarily know what all the symptoms are of someone who is then going to want to use this software for getting music out of their head, but maybe it's do you enjoy listening to music and you're curious about how you could make it even if you don't have any musical training at all? Well, we help you do that, right? And so it's about going further back, because if you think about this, if you think about the size of the markets, if you're able to get getting musical ideas out of your head nailed down as far as the messaging, that's a bigger market than I'm shopping for MIDI keyboards. If you're able to go into, hey, I want to become a musician that makes awesome music, that's an even bigger market than the people who are already thinking, how can I get the musical ideas out of my head even better, right? And that's moving backwards on the awareness spectrum. It's moving towards more unaware markets. The key there is all in the messaging. How can you speak to these different segments of the market based on their awareness and then walk them through this market awareness spectrum in your copy? So if you start an unaware, you are going to have to help them define the problem. You're going to have to help them identify solutions and compare solutions. You're going to have to make them aware of why your solution is ideal. And then you're going to have to offer them some reason tag now, some deal. If you start at problem aware, then you're going to have to speak to the different solutions that are available and then why yours is superior and offer them a deal. If you start at solution aware, then you walk through the market awareness spectrum from there. And so if you want to create something scalable, you say, okay, how can we go one step further back on the market awareness model? If everything that we're doing is about a deal, how can we make it about our offer being superior? If everything that we're doing is about our offer being superior, how can we educate people better about the different offers that are in the marketplace and speak to that, leading to our offer being superior? If we're already talking about that, if we're already educating about that, how can we help people define the problem so that they're more proactively looking for a solution? And then if we are doing that pretty well, then maybe there are opportunities in speaking to a much more unaware market. And so you want to move backwards, move towards the less aware part of the awareness spectrum if you want to make your funnels, your ads more scalable. Now, one cool thing about this is that you don't necessarily have to retool your funnel, your ads, your whatever from the ground up. If you think about your funnel as a series of steps, if you think about your ads, your acquisition system as a series of steps, what you need to do is just make sure that you are taking people through those steps based on where you catch their attention first. And so you may have great copy that converts people who are comparing solutions and that presents yours as superior and offers them a deal. You may have a great conversion system for that. So the question is, how can you use ads or advertorial pages or content marketing or whatever to tack on the front of that, so you get them up to the point where they want to compare solutions, and then your call to action is compare the solutions for this. And so you may have something that helps really clarify the problem in someone's mind and connect them to, and here's the solution options available to you. And so you can create individual ads that become much more scalable to different segments of cold traffic, based on going further back, not with your entire funnel, but going further back on the awareness spectrum based on the start of that ad, just making sure that if you follow the user path through the funnel, that it takes them from wherever you started all the way through the rest of the upside, unaware, problem aware, solution aware, you aware, deal ready, to the point where they are ready to take action.